right, everybody. Welcome back to my little piece of heaven here. I'm trying to get around to doing another exposure series, and I was telling some friends, I want to feature a female photographer this time instead of just the run-of-the-mill, standard dude. And I was looking for quite some time trying to find that standout girl. And there's a lot of really good female photographers. Definitely don't take it the wrong way. But it's been difficult for me to find one that fits all the categories that I'm trying to get out there. And so having said that, last night I looked around quite a bit, and I think I narrowed it down to this one. One of the things that I try to do is enlighten people on photographers that are either new and upcoming or very, very seasoned, but maybe don't have the technical know-how to apply that onto social media and YouTube and everywhere else. It's been a little bit of a battle finding a girl that fits the bill, and I think I found one. So this girl is pretty well known, but doesn't have, that I could find, doesn't have a YouTube channel, doesn't have a ton of other social media. She does have a really, really strong presence on Instagram. And that almost got to where I was like, I don't know. I don't know if that's really what I'm looking for. After looking around more and more, I decided I'm going to settle with her, give her the first chance. And part of it is because she is trying to do some other stuff. Like, she's got a book that she's starting to peddle here. She's active on social media, and she just doesn't have a whole lot of outlets. Like, a lot of people will have, their links in their bio and stuff like that, and she just does not. She's got a link to her book, and she is a Canon ambassador, which makes me like her that much more because I'm a Canon shooter. It looks like she's based out of London, so it's nice to get somebody from another country, and she's the creative director for Fox's Magazine, which I'm going to click on that. I'm going to follow that. Looks like that's an independent music and fashion magazine. And that's good. The woman in review right now, her name is Wanda Martin. She's from London. She definitely is very familiar with a camera, enough to where Canon recognizes her, and she's an ambassador for that. She, like I said, she doesn't have a huge social media following. Like, I don't know if she has a Facebook. She doesn't have a YouTube that I could see. She's pretty much just doing Instagram, which is fine. She's got almost 28,000 followers on Instagram, so that's pretty crazy in itself. Yeah, let's just dive into it here. I'm going to just jump on this first picture, which is a picture of her. Obviously, she might have took it. She might have just did a selfie there. This is her. She's peddling her book, and a lot of her book is like, looks very lifestyle. I really like the style she's got going on here. I'm gonna buy this book. Tell you, okay. So she has a really nice website, and I'm glad I clicked on that because it's definitely British. Like, they have a different vibe, a different feel. I'm gonna check out her website here shortly. Do a little doom scrolling really quick. Love the vibes. I'm gonna just click on a couple things. Lots of different stuff here, different projects. Definitely encourage everybody to jump onto her website. Jump onto her Instagram. I'll put all the links I can find of her up here. She's got some talent. She's got some cool stuff. Lots of little videos. Looks like she makes these little mini movies, which are fun. And she's got her still life, which is other projects outside of people, which is cool. Anyway, let's go back to her Instagram. And this is where I discovered her. I was looking for female photographers, and one thing they'll disqualify her, the next thing they'll disqualify. And I just was having nothing but issues. And but anyway, without further ado, introducing Wanda Martin out of London. She does a lot of fashion stuff, a lot of kind of candid looking, almost BTS style stuff, almost street life. Looks like stuff from her book. My face over here. Okay. So here she's promoting her book. I I definitely dig it. But she's got all these personal photo projects. I thought this one was really cool. This guy just has a look to him. He's definitely looked like he's been through it and continues to put himself through it. You know, her use of atmosphere is really, really good. This one looks as if it could be natural light, like all window light, but you could achieve these looks with a flash. But I think that my guess would be this was all natural light. I love the tobacco smoke in the background. Really gives that gritty texture to it. Same series. There's some really interesting looking people in her photos, you know. Looking through Instagram, at least the way it's coming through here, it almost looks as if the things are not in focus, which I know is not the case. It's just being kind of rough right now. I thought this, I think that her pictures are getting compressed strangely enough on the internet, but cool series regardless. Really looks as if she does a lot of almost Rolling Stones magazine type of stuff and all that. Just gonna roll through these. Here's a little video she's made. I'll just let it play a little bit. And there's probably music and stuff on here. I'm not gonna play it because I don't want to get copyright. She does some real artsy stuff. On some of these critiques that I do, I am giving like constructive criticism. This lady's obviously made a really big name for herself, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. She's obviously not new to the photography game, but you know, we can all learn. So if there's something I see that stands out, like I said, that some of these pictures going back to like this one, they look like they're a little out of focus, but I know that's not the case. I know that it's probably just an Instagram problem. The composition is really good and the lighting is really good. So I know there's something up with however she uploaded it. So that'd be my one critique is figure out why Instagram's messing with your photos. Click on black and white here. This one's really crispy. So I know that sometimes when she gets it right, Instagram shows it good. And maybe it's the color pictures that she's uploading that has a problem. I'm not sure. But lots of attitude. She carries that over in her shots. This is obviously stuff for the magazine that she works for. And I'm just going to scroll down and see what pops at me. This one's cool. These girls look like they're underwater and they're in fancy dresses. Really creative. The cold shadows are really, really nice. The color editing that she does is great. It's very muted, and I'm drawn to that. This picture right here, I've passed by a few times. I really like it. Not really sure what it represents. It's you know, for a magazine and stuff like that. I don't know what the story is, but here's where I'll critique just a little bit from a fashion sense. This is very alternative fashion, which is fine. Color-wise, though, like things don't quite match up, I guess. Almost the grays here match up with the tile over here, the black and white tile, and then her shorts and skin tones match up with the rest of it. But I do think that this location is probably odd, but the picture looks cool. Definitely got me to click on it. Click on the one right above it. Very muted tones. I like the fashion that's going on here. No pants, some loafers, long jacket, tuxedo jacket almost. Very articulate with the hands and really good facial expressions there. I definitely dig that. Her play with light is really, really good. You know, whether this is real window light or projected on or a filter, that doesn't really matter. You know, your eyes are drawn right to her face, and that lighting just kind of just zooms you into that. So it's going to kind of zoom through. various pictures that she's got. That looks like her shooting. She looks very eclectic and fun. She looks like somebody fun to hang out with. She uses Canon cameras. That's always a good time. See, oh, looks like she has a TikTok. So I'm going to find her TikTok. She's got some videos, which I dig that. And we'll put those links up in the thing. Like I said, she's got a really, really strong influence on Facebook, which I think is really good, but she's missed an opportunity on YouTube. And I've told that to the other photographers that I've reviewed in the past. Scrolling down, here's another in that picture series. The window light here is really cool. And like I said, I don't know if that's actually projected on or if this was a natural light coming in. It doesn't really matter. It speaks to me. Her real cool color grades are nice to the eyes. And she shoots both men and women, which is nice. A lot of photographers, they're like, oh, I only shoot women or this. She shoots attitude is what it looks like. And it's carrying over just right now. Me being a musician, I'd love to have this guitar. An acrylic Fender Stratocaster. That's pretty dope. A little BTS there. Looks like, she's using like a Canon 1DX Mark III. So she's not using the latest and greatest, but she's a pro. It just goes to show, like I always say, it doesn't matter what you're shooting with. You either know how to shoot or you don't. And if you don't, you should be learning from others. Learn composition, learn color grading, learn, the settings on your camera. Nobody could tell what you shot it on. I have to look in the description and see what people shot on. This picture of this girl here, lots of attitude in her photos. Like this girl's got a tattoo on her hand, pretty smooth skin texture that she's put in here. Very muted tones. I wonder what the story is here. This is obviously same set, different girl, fully clothed. Goes to this and it's a different outfit. It looks like, there's the other outfit there. I love the wallpaper behind here. And what she's going for is not like the sharpest, like everything's in focus. She's playing with depth of field and she's really got good atmosphere. I can't say enough about that. Like I like texture and grittiness, and I like it when a picture you wonder what's happening there. Like, here's a girl in a large bird cage, and you gotta wonder what's the story on that. Is this some sort of house party? You can see the little behind the scenes here. She's not shooting with a flash or anything either, which is interesting. She's got these nanolite nanotubes and assistance, which is really a different approach. I like it. A lot of times people would show up with a whole setup of gear. She's trying to use whatever light she can. Really nice reflection from something out here, whether that was a flash or one of those Pavo tubes or whatever. Let's see what it says here. Doesn't say. But she's shooting for like Prada and stuff like that, which speaks volumes. This person definitely has scored her way into a really good line of work as far as getting her pictures out there and getting noticed. And I'm reviewing her here, and I like to review as much as possible with people, but she's doing a lot of things right. Like I said, she's got, I'll go to the top here, 27.9 thousand followers on Facebook or on Instagram, and obviously she does have a TikTok following, so like that, I'll have to look that stuff up. She's developed a really good style. Her style is muted. It's very muted, very soft, and but lots of attitude. Like her pictures are telling stories just sitting there, and that's, as a photographer, that's what I try to convey to showing stuff is, learn how to tell a story in your photos, and you're gonna go far. She's got a lot of selfies of herself up here, which is cool. You can see some attitude. All right, so here's a picture that I saw before, and I really like this shot. It's really soft and stuff. But here's where I am going to give a little constructive criticism, and it's minor. The angle of her camera, it feels like everything's falling that way because her horizon is slightly off. And I've talked about this on other videos. If you're going to do that, my feeling is be super intentional about it. Crank that camera a little bit more. Find something that should be straight. Like these pictures along the wall are slightly off, and so and so is this. So if I pull this into Photoshop, which I'm not going to bother doing, but if I pull that into Photoshop and pulled up some guidelines, you'd be able to see that. Tilt it to where everything is straight. You're going to get the same attitude because the attitude is the person, this model, and so I think it takes away from the model a little bit. Here's another one. You can see like right here, this line is crooked. You know, this is a paid gig. She's probably doing really well with it, and I like the look of it. It's very retro dreamy. Now this one is almost intentionally crooked. Like this one I could say, okay, does it get that off kilter feel? It doesn't look like you just slightly messed up. And this one, kind of the same issue. Like I think that this would be my guiding line. I'd make sure that this line was straight. Everything else is going to look crooked anyway, but it's that perspective. It's cool. That's the only thing. I don't think there's anything wrong with her photos by any means. I think the problem is the little things, like, you know, her composition's really, really good, but she's not being as intentional when she's breaking photography rules. And I say faux, it's not real. There's no real rules, but there are things that our eyes kind of gravitate towards. So here's the magazine cover though. This is a prime example. Like, this is gonna be the edge of the magazine, and then the gap is like that between like the picture frames on the wall and stuff like that. It would matter less like if she had a shallower depth of field, so this stuff is a little more blurry, but it's just in focus enough that it slightly irritates me, but in a good way. Like her picture is captivating, but I just don't think she was intentional enough with making things crooked. And you know, that's just my opinion. That's probably one of my pet peeves, but most of her work is pretty solid, and that's not an issue. Like here's another cover magazine. Like, I'm sure this is off a little bit. I would make this line as straight as possible, or this line. One of these two that your eyes go to the center of the page first, up like that, like maybe even a little further, and then have the magazine foxes say right there. But compositionally, there's this girl in this fancy dress with high heels on the floor, you know. Those are the stories. Those are the things that you're going to ask, like, why is that way? You know, and I think she's really good at storytelling, or captivating a story in mind. You know, here's almost a boudoir shot, but with a fisheye lens, which is very interesting. When you have really skinny models like this and you distort them out like that, it makes everything very interesting. Yeah, this is all bubbled out. Everything in the center of the picture is going to be pretty close to reality, a little bit stretched out and stuff. But as it goes out, as that picture goes out, it gets more and more distorted. Fisheyes are really fun to play with. You know, wide angles. It looks like most of her stuff is for this fashion magazine, which would make sense. She works for the fashion magazine, so. Again, all these, like, this looks like an old hotel. You know, I don't know where this was shot at, but it looks like an old seedy hotel. And this girl could be, you know, maybe a streetwalker or something back in the day. Or maybe not, because these outfits are completely different, you know. I like the setting. I don't know if this is a set somewhere or what. This was in, like, Hollywood. She's tagged Disney, which I doubt there's Disney necessarily, but she also tagged Natural Born Killers. It totally definitely has that vibe from like an old movie like that. All right, so scrolling on down, oh, here's another in that series. I like that. The other cool thing is she's not conforming to Instagram's, 8x10 look. She's cinematic looking stuff, and I say that generously because people love to use the word cinematic. Maybe it doesn't mean what they think it means. Yeah, she shoots with all different types, which is really very inclusive of her, and it's good. It's one of the reasons why I picked her, because she's not like picking a model type and sticking with it. She's getting looks across the board. Some of these pictures I can't pull up because YouTube will think that I'm allowing pornographic images up, which I'm not. And her stuff is not pornographic, don't take it that way, but it literally is edgy, and sometimes YouTube is just not about it. So some of the really good ones that I'd like to show, I can't. Here, this is a cool shot though. This is got a lot of inspiration. It's a very stylized shot. I'm loving the shadows, and yeah, this is like a story about a drag queen, but like really like such a great look. And she's not opposed to bringing up things that some people might find offensive. She shoots a little bit of everything, very fashion based. Like here's another taboo subject, interracial love. I love that she's capturing that. That's just amazing. This looks like maybe a whole love series, like Love is Love. Yeah, she's capturing it, Keep scrolling down, see what else I can come up with. I'm not going to critique her. I will say things that bug me, just maybe it'll mean something to her, maybe it won't, but it looks like she's had some little promo videos made of her. She's definitely a very talented photographer. Talented enough that Canon recognized her and is hooking her up. I'm going to go through a few more on here. This is cool. I like the colors and the textures here. You got this big weed. I like this girl's red hair. It looks like they took a mattress or something and just held it behind her. It doesn't look like she's laying down on it. It looks like she's standing up. Very interesting vibe, and a lot of times you do that so you don't get double chins and all that stuff, All right, moving on. Wanda, you're killing it on here. Let me tell you, I like the different type of vibes that you got. This texture. You're really good at texture, and it's one of the things I try and teach people when I'm teaching photography is don't try and go for perfect. Try and go for interesting, if that makes any sense. The story's going to be more important than everything being in focus necessarily. Yeah, a lot of times people focus on so many of the little details that they miss the truly important thing, which is getting a photo, getting the story and the photo right. Go way down here. See if I can find some different variety. Like this looks very, kind of behind the scenes, but kind of set up type of thing. Very natural looking, This is cool. Very dark and moody. A little light coming right here on the face. Some gritty, grimy tattoos. Some flowers. It looks like a trap house, Like she takes a lot of photos of some real grimy looking stuff, which is really cool. A lot of women that I've met that are photographers are really going for the opposite. They're really trying to capture that perfection, I guess. Super clean pictures, and she don't give a rat's ass. Like she is definitely going for attitude, grit, grime, texture. Things out of proportion. She's shooting with some wide angle and some fisheye stuff. That gives a different look. She's got the pleasure of shooting with famous people, you know. That's always good. If you don't know who this is, you should probably look them up. Looks like she attended a concert series somewhere in Joshua Tree, which, if you followed me at all, you'll know that I love Joshua Tree. Some of my favorite pictures I've taken are from Joshua Tree. Let's move right along here. A lot of stuff with cigarettes and stuff like that. One of my favorite pictures I've taken of my wife, she was smoking, and just, you know, that stuff adds texture. So it looks like she's had the style for a very long time, and I could go on and on, like, you know, click on these things, and she really goes and gets texture, and that's what draws me to her pictures a lot. Her models look great too. I mean, definitely realize that, like, she's looking for people that have interesting looks. She brings out, like, the backgrounds. Like, the backgrounds become very important. A lot of times I'll tell people they're not important. You know, it doesn't matter what city you live in or whatever. The importance is the whole package, you know. So I'll tell people, well, if you're photographing a person, you know, feature that person. But she's figured out a way, and I like it a lot, to where she has that person, and then she's got texture everywhere. Like, you know, it just looks gross in a good way, you know, like old wallpapers, bricks that are chipping, you know, old mattresses, cluttered buildings, really cluttery outfits and stuff. That's a look and it's a vibe, and you know, she's bringing atmosphere in. So this is a great example. Like, the background is horrible. It's probably an abandoned building, and there's a shitty old chair that they brought in, and everything's muted. You're intrigued by what's going on. Like, why is this person there? Are they, you know, getting high, or what's going on? And I like that gritty lifestyle look, and I like that it's coming from a woman photographer. Like I said, I don't think that she's exclusive to this. I think there's other people that do, but she's really nailing textures and stuff like that, and she's embracing really gross looking areas, and the stuff looks like it could be, you know, a heroin you know, scene or whatever, you know, some sort of drug induced scene. The environments are not, you know, wealthy and thriving. It looks like they could have been at one point, but they're not. And so anyway, I'm gonna go to her website, click over to her website really quick, and I'm gonna go to fashion and portraits. We're gonna see a lot of the similar stuff that was on Instagram, but different ones that are in the series. Yeah, I'm digging her stuff. Age, body size, any of that. Actually, here's a magazine she got printed in, Elle magazine. I've been printed in that magazine myself, which is cool. Not here to brag about myself, it's just cool to see other people printed in the same magazine. I mean, look at this. This picture right here. I mean, this, like, the teeth are just gross. You know, that's the only way I could put it. She's focused on that, and the hair is disheveled. The makeup is not typical. You know, the colors aren't matching, but that muted tone carries over the whole thing, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I can't complain. I mean, at this stuff, like, it's gotta look. You know, what do you do? You know, you got these people that are coming out, and this says it's for Crack Magazine, so I can see that. That's cool. Okay. Very alternative, very grimy, cool aesthetics across the board. And yeah, I'm about it. If you haven't seen her work, I don't want to spend all day on it. I could. She's got a big body of work here. Go check out Wanda Martin. She's out of the UK, it looks like. She's got a Vimeo site, which is cool. She's got Instagram. She's a little behind the times when it comes to social media. That's the only thing. I'm not gonna pick on her about it, but like her website is very well put together. She's got great videos. She's got great projects she's working on. She talks about, and so yeah, those pictures of lovers. That's her series, and it's all people embracing their partners. So that's cool. And then like her fashion and portraits, like, those things speak on their own. It's look, this is a magazine that she's been in. Very, very artistic stuff. I'm really digging it. It's giving me inspiration for tonight. Having said that, I'm not going to copy her stuff, but I'm definitely going to use some of her stuff for inspiration. So my Osmo camera just died on me. I've been trying to just bootleg this all day, and my batteries are not charged up. So that's going to be the end of this. Check out Wanda. She's got some cool stuff here. I'm just going to doom scroll a little bit here, let you guys get a sampling. Look at those muted tones, and I mean, it looks like straight like 70s, early 80s punk rock, grimy, drug-induced photography on another level. Like, it's like that's what inspired her, maybe, but she has taken that to the next level. So Wanda Martin, you have just been exposed, which, I think that you've been exposed before. I mean, obviously, you're doing a lot of great work for photography magazines and different exposés. Looks like you've shot with some famous people here and there, and you've really you've outdone yourself. Getting sponsored by Canon is no small feat. If I could give some suggestions, though, is take these talents, open up a YouTube channel, do some BTS stuff, maybe instructional stuff. How do you get your look? How do you get your inspiration? And keep doing your thing, because you've got it down. And I appreciate you. I appreciate the people that are going to watch this. I would encourage everybody to make some comments and tell me what you think of her stuff. Do you love it? Do you hate it? Is it jarring? Like, some of it's jarring intentionally, or is it not going far enough? You know what I'm saying? So follow her on Instagram. She's got a lot of followers. She's got almost 28,000 followers, but she's got 1,292 posts. So there's a lot of photos to go through. We've only scratched the surface. She's got reels. I'm gonna click on that. Looks like she's got a lot of different reels telling stories. This shows she's filming stuff already, so she might as well make a YouTube channel. Make a YouTube channel, and let's see more of what you got going on. If you don't want to do it yourself, have somebody do it for you. She's obviously published in a lot of magazines. I really dig her style. So anyway, go check out Wanda Martin. It's Wanda_Martin. Fantastic female photographer. I don't know if that's what she wants to identify as, but that's what I got to say. I've been wanting to feature a woman on here for some time, and she does it, man. She makes me want to go out and shoot some grimy stuff, and I'm going to get out there tonight and shoot some stuff with my wife and a friend, and hopefully I can get something like this in order. So anyway, peace.